So welcome to day 4 of the Meribel Inter-Services Snow Sports Championships. I'm very excited to be joined by two co-commentators for the Telemark Parallel Sprint, one of the most exciting races I think we have out here in Meribel, and it's a knockout race. And of course you've got the jump, you've got the loom, and there are penalty points, so potentially pretty complicated. But I have got two experts with me who are just going to introduce themselves as we come into the semi-final stages. Lex Smythe and Chris Stewart, just tell us a little bit about yourselves. You're both experts in my opinion.
Ladies first.
Thanks. Lex Smythe, I'm captain of the RAF women's team. Been telemarking for about 5 years. I am not racing today because I crashed out in the race yesterday, which means that I didn't get a place in today's race. So you have the joy of me commentating with you guys this morning.
You had a minor disagreement with the snow.
Yes, with my face.
Chris, just give us a line about yourself.
Telemarked all my life, and was 3-time British champion back in the day when it was open to civilians, because I am a civvy. And
but you dabbled with the RAF.
I dabbled with the RAF. Yeah, I was in the RAF Reserves 609 Squadron. Yeah, and I competed on the World Cup circuit as well, a couple of World Championships, and I'm just an absolute massive, passionate person about telemark in general.
I think it's not unfair to say GB Telemark royalty. How many times were you British champion?
3 times, yeah.
That's pretty good. And your dad, of course, is here as well, and your daughter, all 3 generations. Is she going off with telemark skiing lessons, or is she still on
She's
alpine
currently
skis?
got the fixed heel, but it will change at some point, I'm sure.
So brilliantly, you join us at the semi-final stage for both the women and the men, and we've got the two first races on the course.
Yeah, Georgie Altham, GB athlete. She's a really talented skier. She's been out on the World Cup circuit already, and she's got a bit of a lead at the minute. It's going to be tight going into the loom when they cross over, though.
Georgie Altham in the blue course then, and she's up against Lauren Stewart of the Air Force.
Yeah, so Loza took up telemarking 6 months ago, so she's pretty new to this stuff. This is the very first time she's ever raced a parallel sprint, so we were trying to chat her through it this morning, but hopefully she's enjoyed it.
So as you've just seen there, Lauren will have had to take a wider line because she will have picked up the maximum amount of penalty points. That's why she ended up being so far
where
back.
she picked up the penalty points on the jump and various different stages during the race.
Yes, so if you're not completing a correct telemark turn or the telemark technique, you pick up a second, and then you pick up either a second for not landing in telemark or not making the jump line on the jump.
So yeah.
So as you come out of the loom, there are 2 people stood there with some boards.
Yes.
And they will hold up a board of 0, 1, 2, etc. So you know which of those gates, and the more penalties you get, the longer your skate.
So we've now got Laurie Seed up against, from the Army, up against Amy Tarver of the Royal Navy, and it's Amy out in front at the minute.
So we've got opposite ends of the telemark age spectrum here. We've got Laurie, who's an absolute legend of telemark, particularly at these championships. A young 41, I think she is now, whereas Amy's early 20-year-old. Very talented athlete is Amy. She's still pretty new to telemark, but that was a decent win in the end.
Laurie always with a smile on her face, regardless of the situation, and yeah, I mean, names that we're looking at, Georgie Altham has done really well already at these championships, and as Chris said, you know, a GB starter. But Lily Mae Fisher, who's coming up next, another absolute promise, isn't it, for the Royal Navy?
Yeah, she's an exceptionally talented individual, is Lily Mae. Her actual skiing time is sometimes similar to Georgie. She's just not had as much experience in telemark in general.
Another really tight run on the loom there. Someone addressed her, I think it was Georgie Altham, in fact, said yesterday that the loom is carnage regardless, but when you've got 2 people going into it as well.
Yeah.
But it just adds to the entertainment factor.
Yeah, and that's why we're here.
So the joy of a parallel sprint.
Lily Mae Fisher nearly had a crash at the end there. So Lily Mae Fisher cheering on her opponent, Phoebe Garrett there from the Army. and we're coming very close. I told you this would go by in a millisecond. We are coming to the end of the women's semi-finals, and next it's Hannah Witchells for the RAF, and it is Abigail Fells. Now, Hannah Witchells, Lex, you were saying, has got a very special skill.
Oh, she is amazing at skating. She's obviously very good at telemarking as well, but she's got a phenomenal skate on her. So if these two are head-to-head as they go into the loom, then I would put my money on Hannah with her skate, even if she's got penalties.
Hannah Witchells in the blue course, rather wide on the flag, but she's maintained control, and she is indeed in the lead going into the loom. So a really good run here from
and off she goes.
From Hannah.
Hannah is definitely someone to watch out for in the future. She's a really, really talented downhill skier as well as skater.
She did not go the right side of the flag.
Is that so? That's a penalty?
I think that's a disqualification, maybe.
So she went round the wrong penalty flag, we think.
There's just sat in front of us here, we've got one single yellow flag on its own.
Oh, that's right, and she went the wrong side of it.
She's not gone the correct side of the middle flag, unfortunately.
Is it inexperience?
Yeah,
it's complicated, isn't it?
It's a complicated race. There's a lot to think about, and that is a really tight turn at the end, so you've got to have your wits about you.
Yeah.
And the more people that have skied across it, you've got the blue lines, which become less obvious.
Yes. Yeah. There's loads to think about. So you're busy, obviously, coming down the gates and the jump, and you kind of... The hard work for the thinking bit actually starts when you get into the loom. Obviously, there's carnage when you go into the loom. You've then got to look up, you've got to work out what number you are. You've then got to think about which gate you're going through. You've then got to make sure that you make the right decision when you come out of those sort of 0, 1, 2, 3 gates. Yeah. Then you've got to make sure you go round that yellow there, and then you've got to remember whether you were red or blue to come through the finish line. There's actually a lot more to think about in this race than any of the others, I think.
So that was the final semi-final, but in fact we're looking at the board now, and Hannah Witchells has indeed been disqualified for missing the last yellow gate. So Abby Fells from the Royal Navy will go through to the final. Sorry, the semi-final.
Yeah.
We're at quarterfinals.
Yeah, Pat Mitchell, the head coach of the RAF team, has just walked over. He might be trying to put in some sort of protest, which is allowed, but you have to do it immediately at the end of the race.
Is there ever an argument for she was so far ahead it wouldn't have affected the race? Is there ever an argument for that, or is it just like the rules are the rules?
I think there is one discrepancy where if both athletes, for whatever reason, do something that causes them to be both disqualified, that there is then the person that would have been in the lead.
Mitigating circumstances, but not in this circumstance.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Pat Mitchell, a previous racer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was coming to the end as I was beginning.
Okay.
The grandfather of Telemark.
Chris has just aged him massively.
So it looks like we've got Matt Dean. Yeah, Matt Dean against Zachary on the course.
And Matt Dean's done really well in the other Telemark events, and he's absolutely zooming down, so he's got a good lead at the moment. So Zachary Vitti.
Good clean run by Matt. That's really well done by Zachary. As far as I'm aware, Zachary's really quite new to the sport. Another young lad, great talent, particularly for the Army. You know, they've been struggling the past few years, but it looks like they've got a lot of potential now to really give challenge to the Navy and the RAF in the coming years.
I'll tell you what, this next race is a match-up. Stephen Hurst, a stalwart of Army Telemark, and Tom Watton, still relatively new. I mean, he's been a couple of years, but the Watton family are another Telemark family, aren't they? Yeah,
they are. I've known Ollie, Tom's brother, since he was 10 years old. Tom coming down the course now is a man mountain. All 100+ kilos of him. Nearly made a mistake there. Unfortunately.
So Stephen Hurst has kept his composure, and he will go through. I think Tom Watton, well, I say going too fast, but I mean he's a fast racer anyway, but he'll be disappointed with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looked like he had a slight brain malfunction coming off the jump. I think he thought he needed to go the other side of the gate, and yeah, unfortunately it's split decision making skills that are required, and he didn't make the right one.
Stefan said to us at the beginning of the week, he goes, "Oh, you won't be interviewing me because, you know, I'm never on the podium anymore," but
Well,
it's looking
you never
promising
know.
now.
The joy of a parallel sprint, huh?
And the joy of an interview, which Stefan Hurst hates every single year, but we make him do it. Yeah, so up next, Ben Heaton from the Army up against James French, and we've spoken a lot about James French. I'm sure our viewers are very familiar because of that Alpine Telemark crossover. Chris, how difficult is that to be good at both?
Normally, if you are exceptional at Alpine, which James is, the transfer can be quite seamless, but it is far harder than what the people probably think, because it is a very, very different sport. And James has got a significant lead, but Ben is doing really well here. I'm very
on
impressed.
his tail, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And he's still really, really new to the sport, Ben, so...
Oh, and he got less penalties as
Wow,
well, so
yeah. Made it
really
closer.
caught up. Really good race there
Good
for Ben
race.
Heaton, but it is James French who goes through to the semi-finals, and we've got another Watton on course. It's Ollie Watton, who Chris said he has known since he was 10, against Adam Smith from the Army. So another great matchup here.
Yeah, so Ollie, again, a really talented athlete just across the board in terms of rugby, running, his job, and telemark. So there's a bit of a lead already, but you never know what's going to happen on this, as we've seen already, so hang in there, Adam.
What's the competition like in the family between Tom and Ollie?
It's there, but it's
Still
not
on
as...
speaking terms.
Yeah, it's not as fierce as you might think. More so probably between Tom and Kitty, the younger sister, who's
okay.
actually sat over to our right.
And she's out here as a forerunner, I think she did for some of the races.
Correct,
so.
yeah.
So a clean win there for Ollie Watton. He progresses. Adam Smith from the Army, not quite able to keep up with a Watton brother, and yeah. So we're just running through. So that was the final men's quarter-final, and so we will now go on to the ladies' race and the semi-finals. I think the ESF will, I say fiddle with the course, but they're just smoothing it out, aren't they, Lex?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Take out some of the divots, like the nasty little beast that got me yesterday.
Oh, Lex. Don't worry, for anyone who knows Lex, she's still got that beautiful smile. No teeth were knocked out in the
No
process.
teeth, no, got all my teeth still. It's all good.
So this is the first of the women's semi-finals. Georgie Altham from the Royal Navy up against Amy Tarver of the Navy.
This is closer than
very
I
close.
expected.
Yeah. Very close out
Oh,
the
here
loom.
goes Georgie.
Oh,
So I
small
think
issue in the loom there.
I think Amy took the low line, but then lost a bit of speed.
Yeah.
But she's got less penalties. But yeah, it looks like Georgie's going to come through
Close
for the
to
win.
the
but
line.
It's tight.
Oh, very tight. That was a lot tighter than I expected. Excellent race.
Great skiing there by Amy.
Amy showing the pedigree that you're talking about and the potential that is there for the future of Royal Navy Telemark. And they have been pretty dominant, haven't they, Lex, on the
They have,
podium so
yeah.
far, both men's and women's.
The Navy team have done an absolutely cracking job this year. They've got some really strong races, especially on the women's side. And yeah, bravo to them picking people up. We really struggle to get people into the sport. And it's great to see so many women. When I look back in the competition sort of 3 years ago when we first started to now, it's grown so much, and especially on the women's side, and it's fantastic.
So Lily Mae Fisher here for the Royal Navy in the blue course, and Abigail Fells also for the Royal Navy on the red course.
So what we've got two very contrasting styles. We've got a complete go for it in the blue, and a very conservative but normally less penalties in the red. But as we can see, there's quite a big gap appeared here. We just need to see whether the penalty points will play a part in it.
So Lily Mae out in front here, and she has navigated the penalty points pretty well and has stayed in front there against her Royal Navy comrade.
Really good win there. And well done to Abby.
Yeah,
Always smiling.
Yeah.
Lots of smiles there, and like I said, you know, they're only helping each other if you're skiing for the same service. So Lily May progresses, Lily May Fisher and Abigail Fells will, I'm sure, cheer on her Navy teammates as we reach the final stages of this competition. So just a reminder, we're on day 4 of the Inter-Services Snow Sports Championships here in Meribel, and you join us live from the Stad for our first Telemark Live of this competition. We don't want to favour the snowboarders, but we just happen to do 2 of their events first. So, and we've got an alpine event for you later as well. So, and this was a nighttime event, Chris. You were saying you're fighting with alpine now for the nighttime event.
Yeah, not to sound too bitter, but yes, this used to be a floodlit event at night. You know, it attracted a lot of crowds, and Alpine have obviously registered that. So now, for the first time this year, they are doing a parallel giant slalom at night time. So fair play to them for noticing how popular it was, but that's why we're stood in the shade.
I'll tell you what,
currently.
there are 4 or 5 nights you can go with. So you speak to the organising committee about that. But yes, those nighttime ones are exciting, but cold.
Yeah. Yes.
Not that we're in the sun yet. Most of the course is enjoying the Meribel sunshine. Hasn't quite reached us here on the commentary. As we go into the first of the men's semi-final, it's Stefan Hurst in the blue course and Matt Dean from the Royal Navy in the red course.
Yeah, so the only things really to watch out for now are, as the snow softens, there will be more ruts that start to occur, and how you attack the course, particularly if it softens up, particularly in the final. It's can be a recipe for disaster.
And a nice, lovely, strong race by Matty there.
He's such a relaxed style, Matt Dean, but he's just so fast. Does height play a factor in it at all? Because he's long and rangy, isn't he?
Height?
Yeah.
It can do. It can do. Obviously, in the skate in particular, the longer levers that you've got, it can definitely help you. In terms of the actual downhill aspect, the giant slalom aspect, not so much. Jasmine Taylor is a prime example of that. She's a little pocket rocket. But yeah, if she could just, I don't know, have some sort of stretching technique to get a few extra inches for the skate, then that'd help her out.
Second semi-final.
This is going to be a good race.
Yeah, Ollie Watton on the blue course and James French, both Royal Navy, on the red. That's fast.
Oh,
that's so fast!
It's not over till it's over.
Comes out of the loop. James French in the lead at the
down
moment.
to the penalties, right?
But they've both got the same penalty. Can
Here
James French push it? And Ollie Watton.
Oh!
Great race.
I think
really good race.
By milliseconds, James French goes through, and he's managed to get rid of both Watton brothers. So
no mean feat there.
So James French will go
job.
through to the final, where he meets Matty Dean.
That will be an interesting competition.
Yes.
Well, I think the women's final is going to be interesting as well.
Yeah.
So that's coming up shortly. And
so if you want to talk about contrasting styles, James French, much shorter, really aggressive, obviously an excellent downhill skier. He's already won the downhill.
The downhill, yes.
I think he came second in the giant slalom.
He did,
is that correct?
yeah.
And he's proven his pedigree here as well. And then you've got Matt Dean, who's, I'd say, far more elegant in his skiing
he's
style.
rangy, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's that pocket rocket versus the sort of rangy height that Matt Dean. And actually, I mean, they're both fairly relaxed when you speak to them, but Matt Dean especially is pretty horizontal when you interview him, which I love.
And I love it even more because he's talking about transferring to the Air Force.
Have you... I'm not suggesting money has changed hands, but how did you persuade him?
I mean, I didn't persuade him. He was the one that mentioned it last year. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've offered him all the opportunities that he needs.
Controversial.
I know. No, he'll be in the Navy for a few more years yet, but he has aspirations for a slightly different career.
He has an offer if he wants to accept it.
Yes.
So this looks like we've got the third place.
Oh, the Petite final, yes.
Yeah.
So the small final, which will decide third and fourth place, and it's Abigail Fells from the Royal Navy on the blue course and Amy Tarver on the red course. And I know, Lex, if we've got time, I know that the Royal Navy are definitely dominating the Telemark at the moment, but let's not forget where a lot of Telemark in the women's race, the women's competition, came from the RAF, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was a push from you guys. Sorry, they're on the course, so we'll maybe chat about that later. So Abby Fells in the blue lane and Amy Tarver in the red.
So Amy's looking good so far. No penalties, I don't think. She just needs to hold this together, get round the loom safely, and then make an accurate decision in the skating. It looks like there's no penalty points for both athletes looking at the boards.
It's looking pretty laid back, it has to be said, for a small final.
Very, very relaxed.
Yes.
Nice.
A lovely run there for Amy Tarver, and Abby Fells come in and will take fourth position in this Telemark Parallel Sprint. And so that is the small final, so that decides third place for Amy Tarver from the Royal Navy. And then I think we'll see the same from the men.
Something I would like to say about the women in particular across all
services.
All services,
Yep.
thank you.
I'm here for that.
The support has been absolutely outstanding, for each other.
Yes.
I think one of the things, since I started, should we chat now about until this race starts?
Yeah, until this race starts, go for it.
So it was Claire Thomas from the Air
Yes.
Force who raced for many, many years in this competition in the men's competition,
Yes.
because there was no women's competition. She and I went to university together. I retired from alpine racing.
For her.
Well, no, I retired from alpine racing. It was done, and then she persuaded me to learn to telemark. And her aspiration was to have a women's competition in telemark, and she basically said, Lex, come on, I need somebody to join me. I need to build a team. So that's what we did, and we challenged the other two services to build a team as well. And fair play to the Navy, they have gone great guns at building their team, and they've got some phenomenal racers now. So we now need to up our game to match them next year. But no, it's fantastic.
As Chris says, it's the support. It may have started with an RAF push, and I know that very much the men's telemark many years ago probably started with more of an army push, but it's very much become a Royal Marine sport. But at the end of the day, you're all out there sporting, and I think more than anywhere we see the support across the services in this sport and in this discipline, because it's taken so much to get here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of the things that I chatted to the other team captains about right at the start of the season, start of this week, was that we should look after each other, and the fact that it's taken such a long time to get to this place, and part of what's great about it is how we look out for each other and supporting each other. Let's look at this race.
Yes, so Ollie Wotton from the Royal Navy in the blue course, and Stefan Hurst from the Army in red.
Stefan's doing pretty well here, to be fair, so as long as they hold it together, both of them, it could be pretty close in the skate. Both of them are on the same skate points, the penalty points, sorry.
Yeah. Ooh, yes, I mean, Ollie Wotton didn't really have the easiest line there, but in the end, a decisive win by the Royal Navy man over Stefan Hurst, and he will pick up third place, and Stefan in fourth. That was the Petite final in the men's race, and we'll now move on to the final in the women's. Georgie Iltham on the blue course and Lily Mae Fisher, both Royal Navy, of course, on the red course.
This is going to be a great race.
Can they make it
sure
a three? Well, it already is a three-way on the podium, isn't it? Three Royal Navy.
So we've got someone that is extremely precise and very in tune with everything that they do in terms of their telemark racing. And then we've got Lily Mae, who has definitely got a lot of grit about her. So if it comes down to a dogfight, it's going to be a very, very interesting race indeed.
And we have seen a couple of loom accidents, I suppose you could call them. But it's been a fairly smooth race so far. As we look ahead. Yeah. Okay. So we've got someone joining us here on comms, who's fresh from the piece. Tell us what the race line is like out there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful line, amazing line. Just seen Georgie head up for the Navy. She was very lucky to get that last race, actually.
Yes, she didn't have a lot.
Amy Tarver.
If
she had took the loom a little differently. If she was on the other course, she would have got it.
Okay, talk us through this one then.
It's looking amazing so far. Lily Mae Fisher actually taking the initiative and coming out front. Look at that speed, amazing. Georgie clinging on for dear life. I don't think she got it in her, to be honest with you. But Lily Mae Fisher, a little stubble, heading into the loom. Oh, the speed of the girls.
Oh, interesting.
Lily Mae Fisher taking the lead. Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Penalty points. Lily Mae Fisher's always notoriously good for the skate, though. She's out in front.
Yes, Lily Mae.
Georgie's behind, soul crushing. Oh my God, what's she going to think? End of the race.
A great run.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom Watton. We'll employ his skills in the past. But a great final there. Georgie Altham beaten to the podium spot by Lily Mae Fisher. Absolutely brilliant. And great to see them supporting each other. But that's one for the record books, isn't it, Lily Mae?
Absolutely. What a great race.
What a nearly perfect race.
I wouldn't say perfect, but
penalties,
an amazing result. I mean, it goes to show really that, you know, if you've got a lot of fight about you and aggression, shall we say, in this race in particular, it can really, really pay off. Unfortunately, as demonstrated yesterday, Lily Mae crashed in the race because she is very, very gung-ho.
Okay.
I don't know what the full saying is, but it's
no,
much easier to tame a lion than it is...
Yes. Well, you don't want to tame it too much, do you?
No, exactly.
You need to have that spirit.
Yeah.
So Lily Mae Fisher then, the champion here in the Telemark Parallel Sprint as we look ahead to the men's final. And the sun is now just about reaching us here on the commentary spot. But what a great competition, and also it's just great to see the support that it's given from all the racers who are up there. So as we await the final of the men's...
Yeah, as you can see, they're in the starting gates. They're getting the hands now onto the posts, either side of them. As soon as them flaps go down, they have got to fire out of this gate.
So James French, as a reminder, Royal Navy on the blue course, and Matty Dean on the red course. Both Royal Navy, but two completely different styles of telemark.
It's a small mistake there by James already. This is going to be a close one. Let's see what happens coming out the loom.
Oh, the control
mistakes in the loom. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, wow. What a race. Jeez.
They're so close together. Their skis were actually stuck together. Who's going to take it? It's race for the finish.
Wow.
James went
Good
for the
effort there,
dive,
James.
but it was a Matty Dean win. Wow, what drama.
Crikey. That's what you want from a final, huh?
At one point, their skis were actually attached, I think.
Yeah, they were intertwined.
Absolutely brilliant there, and what a brilliant finish to the Telemark Parallel Sprint. Just as everyone is turning up to watch, the telemarkers have turned it on. I mean, a quick summation from you guys. In terms of names on the board, I think Lily Mae was not a surprise to be in the top three, with the fact that she's top of the podium, but possibly in the men's race, something we expected results-wise. You guys just give your summation of that.
Yeah, I mean, a shock in terms of Lily Mae making it, you know, onto the podium for one, but not only that, being the victor. And then in terms of the men, a few shocks would be that the Watton brothers didn't make it as far as what they would have liked to have done. But the fact that Matt has won, he has been really consistent throughout the championship. So, yeah, that's my summary.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with the men's discussion there. Absolutely agree with that. On the women's side, it's a shame Hannah Witchells didn't make it through. I would like to have seen Hannah versus Lily Mae in the semi-final. That would have been a really cracking race, and maybe Lily Mae would have still won it anyway. But that, I think, would have changed things ever so slightly going into that final. But no, I think, you know, what a fantastic race from Lily Mae today. She did brilliantly.
Well, I think that brings to the end the Telemark programme here in Meribel. How's it been on this double anniversary year, and another standout year for Telemark because it just keeps growing? It's brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, Telemark in general has come from, you know, it was the original form of skiing, and there was like this British team that sort of developed in the early 90s, and that died off, and then it was re-galvanised by Andrew Clark, who is here,
yes,
Major Andrew Clark, and he restarted the whole British team aspect, and then developed the British Championships, and then they were the ones that started the Inter-Services Championship as well for Telemark, and to see it literally going from no offence to anyone, but like older gentlemen that were competing against each other. Now you can obviously see from today's events, like, you have got really good athletes across the board in men's and women's. There's no just like single figures that are standing out. There's just a very high standard from the back of the field to the top. So it's just amazing to see that, and what better way to have a competition like that this year, celebrating it in the way that we have.
Absolutely, and Lex, you know, a family that, you know, you don't want to leave, you know, the Telemark family, you're in it for life, as Chris says.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, you know, the Navy have done such a cracking job this year. They've got such a big squad, and I think they've really laid the gauntlet down and really challenged the rest of us to up our game next year. So we're already working out where we can get some more funding from and how we can increase our numbers again. But, you know, it is just so wonderful to see such an improvement over the last, you know, an increase in numbers and participation over the last few years. And, you know, I look alone at the RAF, our development camp in November this year. We have traditionally only ever had 5 or 6 people, and we had 17 this year.
Wow.
So it's, you know, it's growing, it is a different sport, and it is challenging, but it's not as hard as people think.
Okay.
Come and give it a go.
I've given it a go. It is hard.
No, it's not.
No, we don't want that attitude. We definitely want a good attitude.
All I would say to that is that if you're good at skiing,
yes,
and you like cross-country skiing, and you like jumping, it's the perfect sport for you.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there. I hate a jump, and I'm not brilliant at cross-country skiing, but I can ski, and so I gave it a go. And do you know what? If you're good at some bits and not the others, it's just nice. I personally, having skied since I was 6 years old, I just wanted a different challenge, and I really enjoy just trying something different and learning something new again at the ripe old age of 46. So, you know, I love it for that. And if you're not very good at skating, that's fine. We can teach people. If you've never jumped before, fine. We can teach people. I'm still terrible at jumping, and I can still race at the Inter-Services. So there's hope for everybody.
Well, thank you so much, Lex Smythe and Chris Stewart, GB Telemark royalty. I'm going to put you in that as well, Lex. But thank you both so much, and thank you so much for talking us through what is a fairly complicated competition. But that's it from the Telemark Parallel Sprint. Do join us later. We've got an Alpine Live under floodlights, and that's it for our coverage of the Meribel Championships this year, this special year 2075, and we'll see you again soon.